the serene skies above the French Alps, tragedy struck without warning. Germanwings Flight 9525, en route from Barcelona to Düsseldorf, plummeted into the mountains, taking 150 lives in an instant. What appeared to be a horrific accident soon unveiled a chilling truth. One man's hidden torment led to an unimaginable act. Join us as we delve into the heart-wrenching story of Germanwings Flight 9525, exploring the depths of human vulnerability and the urgent need for change in aviation safety. This is a tale of sorrow, revelation, and the relentless quest for answers. On the morning of March 24, 2015, Germanwings Flight 9525 was meticulously prepared for its journey from Barcelona El Prat Airport in Spain to Düsseldorf, Germany. Ground crew conducted routine checks, ensuring the Airbus A320-211 was in perfect working order. Passengers, a mix of holidaymakers, business travelers, and students, boarded with anticipation. In the cockpit, Captain Patrick Sondenheimer and co-pilot Andreas Lubitz ran through their pre-flight protocols, seemingly ready for a standard, uneventful flight. Germanwings, a low-cost airline based in Germany, was established in 1997 as a subsidiary of Lufthansa aimed at providing affordable travel options within Europe. Known for its distinctive yellow and purple livery, Germanwings quickly gained popularity for its budget-friendly fares and extensive network of routes. By offering a no-frills flying experience, the airline attracted a diverse range of passengers, from vacationers to business travelers. Barcelona El Prat Airport, officially known as Josep Tarradellas Barcelona El Prat Airport, is the second largest and busiest airport in Spain. Located just 12 kilometers southwest of Barcelona's city center, it serves as a major gateway to the vibrant Catalonian capital and the surrounding region. On March 24, 2015, Germanwings Flight 9525, operating under the call sign 4U9525, would embark on a journey from Barcelona El Prat Airport, BCN, to Düsseldorf Airport, US. The flight was scheduled to cover approximately 1,285 kilometers, typically taking around 1 hour and 55 minutes. The aircraft involved was a 24-year-old Airbus A320-211 with serial number 147 and registered as DAIPX. It made its first flight on November 29, 1990, and was delivered to Lufthansa on February 5, 1991. Initially leased to Germanwings from June 1, 2003 to mid-2004, the aircraft was returned to Lufthansa on July 22, 2004. It remained with Lufthansa until it was transferred back to Germanwings on January 31, 2014. By the time of the incident, the aircraft had accumulated approximately 58,300 flight hours over 46,700 flights. The flight's pilot in command was 34-year-old Captain Patrick Sondenheimer, seasoned aviator with a decade of experience. Captain Sondenheimer had accumulated 6,000 flight hours, including 3,812 hours on the Airbus A320, having flown for Germanwings, Lufthansa, and Condor. His co-pilot was 27-year-old Andreas Lubitz, who joined Germanwings in September 2013. Lubitz had logged 630 flying hours, with 540 of those hours on the Airbus A320. Co-pilot Andreas Günther Lubitz, born on December 18, 1987, was raised in Neuburg an der Donau, Bavaria, and Montabaur in Rhineland-Palatinate, Germany. He took flying lessons at Luftsport Club Westerwald, an aviation sports club in Montabaur. After finishing high school, Lubitz was accepted into a Lufthansa trainee program and began his training at the Lufthansa Flight Training School in Bremen in September 2008. However, he suspended his pilot training in November 2008 due to a severe episode of depression. After being hospitalized and subsequently cleared by his psychiatrist, Lubitz returned to the Lufthansa school in August 2009. He continued his training at the Lufthansa Airline Training Center in Goodyear, Arizona in November 2010. From June 2011 to December 2013, Lubitz worked as a flight attendant for Lufthansa while training to obtain his commercial pilot's license. He joined Germanwings as a first officer in June 2014. The aircraft was carrying 144 passengers and 6 crew members, including 2 pilots and 4 cabin crew from at least 18 different countries, predominantly Germany and Spain. The passenger count was complicated by the fact that some individuals held multiple citizenships. Israeli citizen on the flight was designer and businessman Eyal Baum from Hod HaSharon. Also on board was Spanish filmmaker Marina Bandres with her 7-month-old son. Among the passengers were Oleg Bryzak, the senior male voice of the Rhine Opera House, FAB, as well as German opera singer Maria Radner and her husband, along with their infant son. Germanwings Flight 9525 departed from runway 06R at Barcelona El Prat Airport on March 24, 2015 at 10:01 a.m. CET, 9:01 UTC, 26 minutes after its scheduled departure time. The flight was scheduled to arrive at Düsseldorf Airport by 11:39 a.m. CET. The pilots acknowledged instructions from French air traffic control at 10:30 a.m. CET. The aircraft was instructed by air traffic control to climb to an altitude of 38,000 feet, 12,000 meters, for stable flight towards Germany. The over 2-hour flight to Germany took off smoothly and without any abnormalities. Passengers relaxed comfortably, anticipating the moment of landing. At 10:27 a.m., the two pilots engaged in a focused discussion about the procedures for landing the plane. However, the co-pilot displayed unusual behavior. Despite being younger, he spoke in a disjointed and irritable manner, which raised concerns among the crew. The co-pilot suggests that the captain could use the restroom if necessary. At 10:30 a.m., the captain left the cockpit to go to the lavatory. He could not have imagined that this would be the fateful moment. As soon as the captain left the cockpit, the co-pilot immediately locked the door. He seized control of the aircraft. The co-pilot began using the autopilot system to initiate a staggering descent rate of 3,400 feet per minute, 58 feet per second or 18 meters per second, to bring the aircraft down. After adjusting the autopilot system, the co-pilot placed both hands on his thighs and breathed steadily, slowly gazing ahead at the majestic yet unpredictable Alps mountain range. The rapid descent of the flight caught the attention of French Air Traffic Control, ATC. They attempted to contact the flight but received no response. A French military Mirage jet was dispatched from the Orange Caritat airbase to intercept the aircraft. After approximately 8 minutes inside the lavatory, the captain returned to the cockpit only to find the door locked from the inside. He frantically pounded on the door and called out to the co-pilot, but received no response. The captain exerted all his strength to break down the door, but his efforts turned desperate. Since the 9/11's terrorist attacks in the United States, cockpit doors had been reinforced to such an extent that they were nearly impenetrable from the outside. The aircraft had descended to 6,175 feet, 1,880 meters, and tragically crashed in the remote commune of Prats-Haute-Bléon, approximately 100 kilometers, 62 miles, 54 nautical miles northwest of Nice. The Grenoble Observatory, located 12 kilometers, 7.5 miles, 6.5 nautical miles from the crash site and part of the SysMalp network, recorded the seismic event associated with the impact, pinpointing the crash time at 10 hours 41 minutes and 5 seconds AM CET. The crash site, located within the Massif des Trois Évêchés, is 3 kilometers, 1.9 miles, 1.6 nautical miles, east of the settlement Le Vernet and lies beyond the road to the Col de Mariot. situated in an area known as the Ravin du Rosé. The aircraft came down on the southern slope of the Tête du Travers, a minor peak in the lower western slopes of the Tête de l'Estro, at an altitude of 1,550 meters, 5,085.3 feet. Traveling at a speed of 700 kilometers per h, 380 knots, 435 miles per hour, the aircraft collided with the mountain. This location is approximately 10 kilometers, 6 miles, 5 nautical miles west of Mount Cimet, where Air France Flight 178 crashed in 1953. Following the crash, the Gendarmerie Nationale and Sécurité Civile deployed helicopters to locate the wreckage. The aircraft had disintegrated upon impact, with the largest piece of wreckage found being the size of a car. A helicopter that landed near the crash site confirmed the absence of survivors. The search and rescue operation revealed that the debris field spanned approximately 2 square kilometers, 500 acres. Following the crash, the French Bureau of Inquiry and Analysis for Civil Aviation Safety, BEA, initiated an investigation, which was joined by the German Federal Bureau of Aircraft Accident Investigation, BFU. The BEA's investigation was overseen by Arnaud Desjardins and received assistance from the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI. Following their initial analysis of the aircraft's flight data recorder, the BEA determined that Andreas Lubitz had manipulated the autopilot to initiate a rapid descent to 100 feet, 30 meters, and subsequently accelerated the aircraft multiple times during the descent. The BEA's preliminary report, released on May 6, 2015, confirmed these findings and revealed that Lubitz had practiced similar maneuvers on an earlier outbound flight. The final report, published on March 13, 2016, reiterated these conclusions, affirming that Lubitz intentionally crashed the aircraft as an act of suicide and murder. The report highlighted failures in the medical certification process for pilots, particularly in detecting Lubitz's deteriorating mental health despite his ongoing access to flight duties. Three days after the crash, German detectives searched Andreas Lubitz's properties in Montabaur, seizing a computer and other items for investigation. They found no suicide note or evidence of political or religious motives behind his actions. However, they discovered a doctor's note at his apartment declaring him unfit to work, which Germanwings had not been informed of. This raised concerns that Lubitz had concealed his illness from his employer. As under German law, medical records are confidential and employers rely on employees to disclose their fitness for work. Subsequent searches uncovered evidence that Lubitz suffered from a psychosomatic illness and was taking prescription medication. Investigators also found disturbing web searches on his tablet related to suicide methods and cockpit door security. Lubitz had a history of mental health issues, including suicidal tendencies treated before he became a commercial pilot. His fear of losing his pilot's license due to potential vision problems led him to research suicide methods and ultimately to deliberately crash Flight 9525. In response to the Germanwings Flight 9525 incident and the actions of the co-pilot, aviation authorities worldwide implemented new regulations, mandating the presence of 2 authorized personnel in the cockpit at all times. 3 days after the incident, the European Aviation Safety Agency, EASA, issued a temporary recommendation for airlines to enforce this rule, ensuring at least 2 crew members, including 1 pilot, remained in the cockpit throughout flights. Many airlines voluntarily adopted similar policies immediately. However, by 2016, EASA ceased recommending the 2-person rule, leaving it to airlines to conduct risk assessments and decide on implementation. Germanwings and other German carriers discontinued the procedure in 2017. In addition, the British Psychological Society advocated for psychological testing and monitoring of pilots, while the European Federation of Psychologists Association supported psychological assessments during pilot selection, but cautioned against predicting individual mental health challenges. Lufthansa's CEO suggested random psychological checks for pilots and proposed relaxing physician-patient confidentiality laws, a sentiment echoed by politicians advocating for exceptions in extreme cases. Furthermore, the French National Gendarmerie introduced new support measures to mitigate psychosocial risks for relief workers, routinely exposed to traumatic events like the aftermath of Flight 9525. Lufthansa, the parent company of Germanwings, initially offered victims' families up to 50,000 euros in aid payments, separate from any mandatory compensation for the tragedy. Some families pursued higher compensation through a lawsuit against the Lufthansa Airline Training Center in Arizona, which was ultimately referred back to German courts in March 2017. In July 2020, a court in Essen ruled against several families, determining that neither Lufthansa nor the Arizona Training Center could be held responsible. The flight doctors who may have cleared Lubitz to fly were acting on behalf of Germany's aviation authority, the Luftfahrtbundesamt. This decision was upheld on appeal in September 2021. In November 2021, a coroner's inquest into the deaths of 2 British victims concluded with a verdict of unlawful killing.